My name is Toby. So basically, I help businesses transform into brands using design, strategy, and storytelling. So basically, my philosophy is simple. Everybody has a story to tell, and if you can present your story in the right way, you can win the hearts of loyal people, or who are supposedly called customers, or clients. You can win their hearts, and if you can win their hearts, you can command any fee, and you can satisfy their needs, right? So hopefully we'll learn how in this session. It's going to be a very quick session, and hopefully we'll learn how. So my name is Tobi, T-O-B-I. Oluwatobiloba is the full name. And like I said, I transform businesses into brands using strategy, design, and storytelling. All right, so let's move. Hopefully today we'll learn two things. We'll learn the modern definition of a brand, right? So we learn what exactly a brand is, and we'll learn 8 key steps to develop your brand. So if I'm able to communicate these two things today, it means I've done my job, and you can go ahead and just do your thing, develop your brand. Okay, so we'll start with the first thing, the modern definition of a brand. What is a brand? Before we do that, we'll just demystify 2 myths, or rather 3 myths of what a brand is. I know a lot of people have said different things about what is a brand. If I ask you about what a brand is now, I'm sure you have something to say. Okay, so what is a brand? A brand is not a logo, right? So your brand is not your logo. Your brand is not your products. Your brand is not your identity. All right, so your brand is not your logo. Your brand is not your products. Your brand is not your identity. What then is your brand? A brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization, right? A person's gut feeling about a product, service, organization. So let's look deeply at this. Why do we love Apple? We love Apple because that's Apple iPhone, the iPads, the Apple laptops. Because over time they've been able to communicate a mind emotional value of luxury, of sophistication, right? So if we think Apple, we think luxury, we think sophistication, we think premium value, premium sales, high end, and also simplicity. Now, in as much as you might say Apple is an expensive product, not everybody can afford it. But then if we look at those that can afford the Apple products, we'll see that they see themselves in an Apple product, which are the few things I've mentioned before now, which is luxurious, sophistication, simple in terms of minimalist, and then pride and ice mindset to us. So that's why Apple as a product do not sell to everybody. They'll probably sell to just the high-end persons, or only those who are high-end can see themselves in an Apple product and have enough money to buy an Apple product, basically. So that's that gut feeling about a product. So that's what makes Apple a brand. The fact that people have a certain perception about Apple as a brand, and they can buy the brand, they can buy the product, they can see themselves in the product. All right. Right. So about a service or a product. Now, there are two major ways you can create that gut feeling as a business. There are two major ways. How? You do that by reputation and vision and vision. These two things can come together. So our work now is understanding how these two things, what major roles they play and how can they come together. Reputation, the perception before over time, over a long period of time, right? Apple as a brand, they didn't start their perception today, but their reputation started when the product itself started. That was when now over from then till now, even though Steve Jobs is no longer able to push the brand, but he has been able to communicate his vision to his staff, to his communication managers, to everybody that works in Apple. And that's why it's gone. We can still say that Apple is still one of the best brands you can find in the world. It's a solid reputation. Or Apple as a brand has built a solid reputation. And visibility on the other hand, they've been able to showcase themselves to the world. Such remarkable work is Coca-Cola. Whether you're in Iceland or you're in Soweto in South Africa, you see a Coke brand there selling the same thing. Why? All right. So brand development, professional service and brand. So first of all, and these are is you want to create pause and say here is that as I'm talking about these things, I'd like you to envision your product and your service. And then how am I strengthening? Okay, what exactly am I creating? And how am I strengthening the brand? What exactly am I creating and how am I strengthening my brand? Sorry, 1 minute. So let's move. Let's move. How am I strengthening my brand? Two things in three phases, which is the three phases of brand development. You learn what is a brand, which is determining where you are right now, okay, and where you want to be. How many you have? How many you have? Do you have a social media? The fourth phase is to strengthen what you've already developed. So let's move. Let's move. Okay, this is actually 8, actually not 10, but 8 steps. You can do all this. Now, the first step is to consider your overall business strategy, which I've said, understanding where you are and where you want to be. Somebody seen anything? Okay, great. Understanding where you are and who you want to sell to. Now, this is different from the three phases, processes. You want to sell to market women in Lagos. It's vague, right? Or maybe you say you want to make 3 million naira in a month. That's fine, all well and good. But how do you want to make 3 million naira in a month? Do you want to sell to market women? Which of the market women do you want to sell to? Do you want to sell to market women in Ojota? Okay, so selling to market women in Ojota is different from selling to market women in Bagada, because they might not need the same thing, right? So that's why I said understanding what exactly you need to do and where exactly you need to get to. That's your business goal and objective. The next thing is determining who your target clients are. So here we look at who are your target clients, what problems do they have, what problems do you want to solve for them. We also look at where do they hang out, who do they follow, what are their priorities right now, okay, what is their preferred form of communication, right? Imagine if you are selling to let's say small business owners. Selling to small business, where do they hang out? Are they on LinkedIn versus are they on Facebook? Okay. So small business owners, you might most likely see them on Facebook and not on LinkedIn. Just my thoughts. You have to do research to find out all of these things. Okay, so who are your target clients? Determine their age, determine where they are, determine what they need right now. Then how can I meet their needs? I want it to them. What makes me as a business or me as a person? What makes me different from every other person out there? Right? If we're all selling clothes, what makes me as a clothes seller? What makes me different from the other person that sells clothes? What other unique value proposition can I give to make me different? Okay, so here we determine how is my business different from another or different from the other party. Why should clients within my audience to work me or choose to buy from me? If I'm just selling for selling sake, I'm just like that sell. Nothing makes me different. So let's business A. Sells clothes. 5. I have the money. Doesn't there's V that sells the same tank top and does the same adverts. And I want to buy a tank top and I see the tank top. I message the person and the person that okay, this tank top costs 3.5. Where's the location? How is payments made? And the same transaction takes place. But business B calls me and she's like, oh, have you seen your product yet? Do you like it? Does it fit? Um, can you tell me what else you like about it? Now, business B is just trying to connect to the clients, trying to understand that indeed this client has enjoyed the product that she has bought. And then the client will always go back to business B because that's like, no matter how little it is, that's an added advantage. All right. So as a business owner, don't just sell. Add something unique to your business. Go the extra mile. So even when you imbibe this customer satisfaction, and before you know it, everybody that buys from you knows that Isaac, that guy is a lovely guy. Apart from the fact that he sells, he is unique in his stuff. His clothes is good. And okay, so this is how you craft out your positioning state. We'll just look at that quickly. The positioning statement is your marketing solutions. emotional connections with their audience. How? By increasing their client satisfaction and brand their reason to believe. So how did they build emotional connection? By increasing client satisfaction and also building brand value. All right. So this year it's a positioning statement. So we've just used these 4 key parts to build this positioning statement for these clients. Okay. And you can do the same. You can do the same. So let's move. Next is to develop your logo and your name and your taglines. Okay, remember we mentioned earlier that your logo is not, your brand is not your logo, your brand is not your identity. Your brand is a gut feeling that customers feel about your product or your service. So this is where we develop our logo and our tagline. All right. Now our logo and our tagline will make much sense if it's related to our brand positioning, which is what we've determined here. Our logo and our tagline will make much sense if it's related to our brand positioning. Make it memorable. Let it symbolize something. Okay, let it bring out the positioning statement that you just created. That's the next step you do. Okay, so here we'll pause and I'll get feedback from what it is so far. What do you feel about the class? Are you learning anything? I like to get feedback, a little feedback. So let me know what you think. You can chat, you can talk. Favor, are you there? So let's get feedback, please. All right, Favor says educative. Who else is here? Isaac. I see Isaac. I see 2 Isaacs. You can just chat and let me know if you've learned something so far. All right, so Isaac is saying he's very educative. Okay, so it's educative, it's inspiring, and you're following keenly. All right, that's good to know. Good to know. So we move on, right? All right, so okay, yes, good to go. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Isaac. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Isaac. So we're good to go. Time is really fast spent, so we're good to go. Okay, so this is like a little advert. Vibraticom is a design and brand communication, marketing communication agency. That is us. This is what we do. Basically, we help businesses solidify their brands. That's what we do. So I into a whole number of things. We can help with your logo design. We can help with your naming, your visual identity. We can help with your app development, your digital marketing. This is what we do fully. These are our services. All right. So I also function as the CEO and founder of Vibraticom. So we're a full service digital agency in Abuja. And basically we help our clients and we help businesses transform into brands, tell good stories as well. Okay, so enough of the adverts. Let's move. Let's continue. So this is the 5th thing you do. This is the 5th thing. This is the 5th thing. You work on your messaging strategy. Your messaging strategy. Right? So the next step is to develop your messaging strategy. Develop a strategy that translates your brand's positioning into the messages you can deliver to your clients. Okay, so sometimes you may need to develop different messaging based on the clients. So sometimes, like for us, Vibratical, we have startups as our clients. We also have solopreneurs who are entrepreneurs as our clients as well. And we have big businesses like conglomerates like GIZ, GT Bank, for example. They're all our clients. So how you communicate to a startup is different from how you communicate to a GTB, for example. They're different things. So that's where your messaging comes into play. All right. So develop different messaging system. If you are selling to a business, like business women on the street, you don't need to use strong technical jargons. All right. Just use simple layman thing that they'll understand, as long as it gets the messages to them. To understand your business is communicate a language that they understand, and let that be your messaging systems. Let that be your messaging systems. Okay. So next, number 6, develop your website. So your website is your framework online on the web. Every business person should have a connection on the web that draws their clients to them, no matter how small it is. No matter how small it is. Now there are various apps that helps you develop maybe a one-pager site online, or there are brands that do landing pages for business owners, like us. We do landing pages for about 50 to 60K for business owners, for example. But then it just gives you a face on the web. If somebody goes online now, types your name, or favor this, will they see your image online? And even if they see it, what do they say about you online? Will they see your contacts? Will they see your jobs, the jobs you've done? Will they see what you do? Now, Instagram is good, but Instagram is not a good enough positioning online. Anyway, it's something that can get you a solid face. There's Google My Business. Are you on Google My Business? Is your business on Google My Business? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Do you have a website? Can somebody sign up to your newsletter? All of these things are things that help you give a solid persona, a solid perception online about you. Okay, now, funny enough, you can be anywhere in the world and still project what you want your clients to see about you. Even if you are in Ajegunle, for example, once you are connected to the internet, project something online. That's why an average Yahoo boy can be in Ajegunle and sell to a client in England by just projecting a perception of them to their clients. That's basically what you need to do, and that's what your website helps you do. Okay, so let's move. Number 7, develop a content marketing strategy. So remember that your brand strength is driven by both reputation and visibility. So increasing visibility alone without strengthening your reputation is rarely successful. Content marketing increases both visibility and reputation at the same time. Now, it's a perfect way to make your brand relevant to your target audience. What you want to do is to increase both visibility and reputation. And that is what content marketing do for you. Now, I just before this meeting, I just got off a meeting with a client, or rather a prospect. He's not yet my client, but he's a prospect. Now I met him on LinkedIn. He needs a brand consultant, and then he put up an ad. right? He displayed an ad on LinkedIn, and then I applied, and I also sent him a message. So after I sent him a message, he went on my profile and he read some of my profile, and then he responded to have a meeting with me. We just got off the meeting. Now, what makes me different from the average person that talks about maybe brand strategy or brand positioning is that I have a content marketing strategy online that that communicates exactly what I do. So when you go to my Facebook page, or when you go to my Twitter, or when you go to my Twitter, or when you go to my LinkedIn page, you see what you see there is about brand strategy. And so I don't need to convince you so much. Because when you go on my social media pages, what you see there is everything about brand strategy. Because I've been able to put my content marketing based on that. I've been able to develop my content marketing based on that. So that is what content marketing helps you do. It helps you increase reputation. Over time, I talk about brand strategy, how to build your brand, how to develop your business, how to push your brand out there. And so I'm seen as a thought leader. And then I don't do so much. I just go online, I just read, I extract a few things, I repackage it, and I repost it. Not so much work, but I'm seen as a professional doing this. Now, this is what all of us can do. We can all do that. We just need to be intentional about it, right? So with a little bit of intentionality, you can build reputation and visibility. How? Twice or thrice a week, or post on LinkedIn, right? Oh, let's move. I see less than 1 minute. Wow. Lastly, you implement, you track, and you adjust. Implement, track, and adjust. This is your final step, right? Everything we've said. So you run it all through, you implement them, you look at the success results or your result, then you go back to the beginning to change what needs to be done, to adjust, make adjustments when necessary. And hopefully you'll be on your way to developing a strong brand. All right. Thank you for this awesome, amazing time. My name is Tobi Akinyele.